Sport is superstition, science, family, drama, love, theatre. It's everything. That's why we've made a betting brand for sports fans that's better. Gamble responsibly.
Time to talk NFC. The Eagles, who are the number one seeds, are taking on the San Francisco 49ers. James, I think both the championship games are going to be totally different types of games, or styles of games if we like. But what we're going to see here from the Eagles, the spread's only 1.5. The early support says that Philly can win this game. But they're going to run the ball against a Niners defence that knows they're going to run the ball.
Exactly. This is such a great setup, Matty. You've got two top defences in the NFL. You've got two top 5 offenses in the NFL. You've got 2 of the top 10 rushing attacks in the NFL. It's such a great setup. And as you said, it's very different to what we're going to see in the AFC. This is going to be a defensive tussle. I'm stoked on this because, we saw the way that the Niners just handled the Cowboys last week. You talk about that rushing attack.
Yep.
And it's like, we're going to try to rush. And the Niners will be like, you can try. You can definitely try. We'll see what happens after, but you can try your hardest. And that's probably one of the things about this sort of setup. It's like we're going to learn a lot, I think, about Philly. Because I think you look at both of these teams, very well-rounded teams, as I mentioned. If you look at their stats, they match up so well. I think if we sort of learn anything about this Philly team this week, as Freddie sort of alluded to in the first segment, AJ Brown, quiet week last week. Mm-hmm. Can they then go, well, maybe we'll sort of balance it out, get a bit of throwing going, if we can open up this run attack? I don't know. How's Freddie feeling about it, do you think?
Well, I guess that's the question, Freddie, isn't it? We know that the running game is good and Jalen Hurts running is good as well. He sets into those plays beautifully. They're 15-1 with Hurts. But what's plan B for Philly if that San Francisco defence stops that running game?
For a quarterback, and especially for a young quarterback, you have to go to the tight end. That's the easiest target in the field, on the field. That's the easiest target. If you're not hitting your tight end and opening up the run game for everything else, and they're going to do a lot of screens with Smith and stuff like that. So they're going to have to hit their tight end. If they can't hit their tight end, which scares me because you know what? San Francisco defense goes against a great tight end, the greatest tight end in the game, in practice, every single day. So this is going to be a hard situation for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Your thoughts on that, James? We always talk about Kelsey, we talk about Kittle. What have got it for the Eagles? Do they have the capability there?
Well, he's like a great sort of press in case of emergency button for Hurts, right? Yep. That's exactly what he is, and Hurts uses him really well because that's that combination, as Freddie alludes to. Hurts can use his legs, Hit's got it across the middle if he's got nothing to find himself. But this is kind of speaks to how well-rounded Philly are. They've just got so many different attack sort of avenues for you. They've got Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, even Boston Scott, the giant killer, comes out and smashes.
All he does is beat New York and goes home.
That's it. Just cashes his check and my work here is done. I love that. But it is 70 sacks this season for the Eagles. Their defense is absolutely stacked. They're awesome. The offense, Miles Sanders, Gainwell, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, it's just so set up to go, right, what are our avenues of attack on this San Francisco defense? I don't know. We'll find out. Their weaknesses, though, Philly, that's kind of the thing. There's not too many. You can maybe try to run on them, as we alluded to. They're 16th, I think, in the NFL in terms of yards per game, giving up 121. And this is a Niners team that can run the ball. We've seen that. They've got a couple of different sort of Swiss Army knives that will, try to run it down your throat. But 8-2 at home this season, this Eagles team. Absolutely 7-3 against the spread. That's awesome. They are absolutely on fire.
And what I like about the Eagles is they've been able to, when they have a good win at home, they back it up with another win. They are consistently winning and they do well. Freddie, back to you as far as let's flip the coin and talk about the Niners. What is their strength that Philly has to stop?
Can you stop Bosa? He is one of the best guys out there in the game, and that's scary to me. I alluded to this last time with the linebackers that they have. Their linebackers are great. They already played against the Cowboys with great receivers out there, and they really shut them down, and they know how to guard a tight end. So it's really, really scary. I need for everybody to give the defensive coordinator, which will be a head coach real soon, maybe next year, they have to give him his props because his game plans, the way he disguises his coverages, you think they're covered too, but they're really man. He's doing a great job. So it really, they're matched up. Both teams are matched up pretty evenly. It's all going to come down to who has the better game plan. who has the better defensive game plan, who has the better offensive game plan, because the players are pretty even.
Who wins, Freddie?
I have the Eagles winning. And I have the Eagles winning by a field goal. It's going to be a tight, low-scoring game, but I think that it could be a 24-21 game.
All right, Eagles by 3 for Freddie. Who wins, James, and why? And what sort of spread are we talking?
Well, we've talked about this Niners team. I just think we're going to look back on this team and go, they had all those dudes on offense at once? Are you kidding? Like, it is crazy when you think about the great Niners teams of old. Same sort of vibes about this one. You've got McCaffrey as the running back. You've got Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. George Kittle, you forget about him. He's one of the best tight ends in the game, and he's almost an afterthought. Obviously, the one weakness we've got to think about is Brock Purdy. He's Purdy good, but is he good enough?
There's a little bit of extra pressure now at a championship level.
Going into the link to try to beat the Eagles, I think they can do it. I'm going to have to go against Freddie here. I just trust this Niners defense just that little bit more. And I think during this season, we have seen the Eagles, as explosive as they've looked at times, this is the one team they very clearly did not want to play at any point, basically. They're just like, we want no bar of this. But you've seen their offense sort of just hit a brick wall on the odd occasion throughout this season. The Niners just grind games out and win.
Yeah, if they win, it's going to be low-scoring games.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think the unders is the play in this one. Yep. I like the Niners at the line and head-to-head. I just trust this defense a little bit more. But I do think it sets up as a really fun sort of setup. I think if we're going to go a bit of a same-game multi,
which we can,
I'd probably lean into Jalen Hurts running one in.
Yep.
So an anytime touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, same sort of vibe on the other side. And Kittle, 40-plus yards. That's that tight end sort of thing, what we're talking about. Even that out, I reckon get a really, really good game. And I think the Niners just eke it out. I might go 24-21, Niners. All
right, so difference of opinion there. Freddie's going for a 3-point win to the Eagles. James, a 3-point win to the 49ers. We're going to take a break and we're going to talk about the other game. And I've got a funny feeling there might be some, difference of opinion in that one as well. We're going to talk the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals next.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.